Hello and welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do something a little bit more fun in this video. Quite a few people keep asking me about ear training. Specifically, can you train your ears to become better at detecting, certain frequency bands or differences in compression or gain and things like this? And in general, I'd say yes. It's usually a long, slow process of doing lots and lots of mixes and just making more music. However, many of you keep mentioning a website called SoundGym, which is I think the most popular online audio training tool for audio engineers, so I thought that I would check it out. This video is not at all sponsored by SoundGym, but as I was testing it out a couple of days ago, I thought it'd be really fun to just turn a camera on so that you can watch me struggle through some of the training and challenges, and also I can just discuss ear training in general, so it's not just all about SoundGym in this video. So let's get right into it. So this is the SoundGym website. There's a free version that lets you do a little bit of training each day in a couple of games. And then there's a premium version, which lets you do more training, a lot more games, use more sounds and whatnot. So it's just a more full experience. I'm using the paid for version in this video because I just wanted to make the video even more fun and more engaging. From what I've seen, SoundGym seems to be a bit like Duolingo, but for audio engineers. So instead of learning another language, you're just learning all these audio skills and you're getting points, you're getting ranked compared to other users, but there's also all these other things like these fun games, a community tab. So I'm going to check out a bit of everything in this video and see how it goes. So you've got your daily workout, and the idea is that you still want to make songs, you still got to produce, but the ability to detect frequencies, detect compression, set delay times, you can speed it up a lot by doing daily training. That's what they claim anyway. There's loads of different training games to choose from. The first game I'm going to play is Peak Master. This is an EQ game. I'm going to select full songs and I'm going to play the game. So the idea behind this is that it helps you detect where the boosted frequencies are, so that if you're EQing, you don't have to spend so long sweeping around. You can sort of just say, yeah, I think that sounds like 200 hertz, or I think that sounds like 1000 hertz. So let's have a go at this. You can sort of follow along as well, see if you can guess them before I can even. So this is without EQ, and with. Sounds like about 3.5 to me. Almost. Perfect. Perfect. So this is without EQ. I think it's about 300. 250, okay. 150. 150. 350, 320, 310. Perfect. Okay, it's not bad. So this is without a boost. 6K, I think. 7K, okay. I really like this song. Ooh, close. So as you go through the game, the range limits. So now I'm down to like a lot less frequencies I can choose. So I have to be more and more accurate as it goes along. Sounds about like 6 to me. 6, there we go. Oh, so I finished that one. And once you've finished a game, it lets you know how you stack up compared to other users. So if you press how do you compare, it lets you know how you compare against other SoundGym users. So in this case, it says I'm like 86%, which isn't too bad. I would expect that given that I'm using like really, really good headphones, and I've been doing this for several years. But I'm sure it won't be like that in all the games. So let's take a look at some of the other games. I've just cut away to my DAW just to talk about something important. And this is that when I started, I was really, really useless at discerning those frequencies. I would not have been able to tell the difference between 300 and 400 hertz or 2000 and 2500 hertz. No way. I would not have been able to detect those differences at all. I could have told you bass, low mid, mid, high, but not within a couple of hertz or within just a tiny little frequency band. And what I used to have to do was this. So I'd go into my DAW, I'd pull open a session, and on something like my whole drum bus or the whole song, I would open up span and I'd open up an EQ. So span's free. I've left a link for it in the description. And it's a frequency analyzer. And I'd just press play, and then I'd press control and I'd solo a band. So I'll show you how to do this. You press play, and then you press control and left click, and it solos a band like this. And I'd have to look in and go, okay, that's what 400 hertz sounds like. That's what 4.2 thousand hertz sounds like. And it shows you up in the top left corner what frequency range you're in. And I used to have to do this to kind of try to understand where the frequencies actually were, because otherwise I'd just sort of be boosting and cutting sort of quite indiscriminately. And often when you're digging into a mix, it's really important to know that you should be cutting 300 and not 350. For instance, sweep through the frequency spectrum and really try to get a feel for like where the frequencies were. So if I press play and I'm just going to listen to the low end, it's like, okay, 40, 50, that's really that thump of that kick. But if I go up to like 120, that's like the transient bit of the kick. And then higher up again, you've got that snap. Or like my snare here. That really like hollow part of the snare at 380. And I used to do this with different bits of audio I was working on, because I realized after a year or two that I really wasn't as good as I thought I was. And I couldn't tell the difference between, 320 hertz and 350 hertz. It was just, I couldn't distinguish them at all. And although I was actually quite good at that peak meter game, I really wish I had that back in the day when I was starting out, because I think it would have helped me realize just how bad I was at it. And if you were following along and you weren't guessing very closely, it might be something to think about opening your DAW. Really try to dig into the frequencies, just so you know that you're cutting and boosting in the right place. Okay, but that's enough of that. Let's choose a different game. So this time I'm going to choose Dr. Compressor. So you're presented with two sounds. One of them is more compressed than the other. Attack and release are very short for easier recognition. Which sound is more compressed? Okay, this is going to be really interesting. Let's enter that game there. So I played it once a couple of days ago. I can't really remember it, so let's play the game again. Which sound is more compressed? Click to start. Okay, so what I'm really listening for is the snare. I'm seeing which snare sounds a lot more crushed. That's got a really transient snare. This one doesn't, so I think that's more compressed. Perfect. This one, surely. I think it's this one. Okay, this is actually quite challenging for me, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that's such an ominous sound. I think it's this one. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. I'm saving it a little bit. Okay, finished. Done. Okay, I'm quite glad that one was over. It wasn't too challenging, but I would never really set my compression super fast like that. So, that was actually more challenging than I thought it would be. The last game I'm going to do is Pan Man. So a sound is going to be panned, left, right, or center, and I have to try and guess where it is. I want to choose strings for this because I haven't used those yet. Let's play this game. Okay, more right than I thought. Okay, not so good at this. Close enough. Lucky guess. Okay, so I'm done with the games now. What I wanted to show you quickly was the community tab. There's sort of like a community thing going on here. It's almost like Strava, actually, for audio engineers. So you can see what other people are doing. There's various different challenges on all the time to win prizes. And you've also got like ranking, so you can see how you compare with other users. So it says I'm 75.2, so I'm in the top, like 30% of users on the site right now. So it's one of these things to try and keep you motivated, to keep training, I think, there's like beat making challenges, things like that. So it's something quite fun. Would I do this absolutely every day? No, there's no way I'm going to log into here and use SoundGym every single day. But in general, to answer the question and sum this video up, can you train your ears to become better at perceiving frequencies, perceiving differences in compression, and basically just being better at mixing? Absolutely. Now, there's a genetic element involved, and there's like a nurturing environmental element. So genetically, some people can just hear more frequencies, hear a bit lower, hear a little bit higher. My hearing range doesn't actually extend very, very far. I can't really hear much above, 17,500 hertz. Genetically, I have no gift for perceiving frequencies or anything like that. 4 or 5 years ago, I was almost completely tone deaf. I could not play instruments. I couldn't tell you the difference between 300 hertz and 600 hertz. Over 4 or 5 years of doing lots of mixes, lots of songs, covers, training, this has improved. So you're just training your brain's ability to distinguish and figure out what your ears are picking up from the world. So for anyone that's been doing this for maybe a few months or maybe even just a year or two, and you're not as good as you think you should be, you can't really EQ the way you want, you're not really picking up on frequencies the way you think you should, stick in there, keep doing lots of mixes, potentially try audio training like this. I think it's a little bit helpful. It's not the be all and end all. I'm definitely not going to log in and do it every day. But overall, I do have a very positive message for you, which is, yeah, you absolutely can train your ears to become better. Like I said, just a couple of years ago, I knew absolutely nothing about any of this stuff, and I'm 100% sure you can figure all this stuff out too. However, you have to look after your hearing. So if you're doing audio engineering or training, don't be listening too loud. I have a video dedicated to how to protect your hearing, because you will suffer hearing loss over time. So although you can train your ears to become better at like perceiving frequencies, if you're doing this too loud, you're actually going to be damaging your hearing overall. So definitely keep working hard, keep training, and I hope this video was a little bit of fun. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one too. Bye for now.